thank you so much for being here with us, Staci. I appreciate that so much. I love you so much. And I think that everyone here are so lucky to get to know you today and to hear your amazing story. Such an inspiration. Absolutely. So maybe we can start by you telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, whatever it is that you want to share with us. And then maybe also what brought you to reach out to me in the first place, what brought you to join Master Your Path program, what were you struggling with, what was your experience before going into this journey.
So
And if you can speak up as much as you can, I think that will be good for everyone.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hello, everybody. My name is Staci. I am a financial advisor for Scotiabank, and I am in Saskatchewan in Canada. So I came to Shimreet middle of May, end of May of this year. I was struggling a lot with anxiety and depression. My job was very, very demanding and stressful. At one point, I figured I needed to quit my job, that I couldn't do it. And yeah, like the level of anxiety, I would come home and I would just think about work all night, all weekend. I might as well have been there working, and it would just stress me out. So I was on my couch one day and I was scrolling through Facebook and I came upon Shimreet's a post for her group. So I looked at it, I emailed her a couple questions and I got started. It really spoke to me. It felt like it was something I should look into. So prior to this, I'm 38 years old, so I've struggled with anxiety and depression my whole life, on and off. Not every day, but I was a very big people pleaser, and I always felt very obligated to do things for people, and if I didn't, I would have anxiety over that. It was just a lifelong struggle. I spent a lot of time, like in my early years, at counselors. I was heavily medicated on antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. And yeah, so I did that for quite a while. And, the same problems, they'd be there. They might go away for a bit, but they'd always come back. And it was always the same struggle. Until I met Shimreet.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to blush again today, I think. And thank you for sharing that so much. And yeah, maybe you can share with us now about your journey, about your experience in the program and working with me and with the other people in the group. What was most meaningful for you? What do you feel is worth, sharing with everyone?
So, hold on, let me get my thoughts. I had it there.
Yeah.
So when I joined, I initially started with something very similar to what you guys are doing now. And when I had my breakthrough call with Shimreet, I felt there was really a connection there. I felt that this was really something I needed to do. And she offered to work with me one-on-one. And I felt, okay, we're just going to do it. So I did. And I feel that the work that we did, I found was very deep. When I say deep, I really had to look deep inside myself. Deep. I had to look very intensely at my behavioral patterns, at my thought patterns. And this is something I knew I had to do prior, but I just didn't have the tools to do it. I just didn't know how, right? So I had this little negative voice in my head constantly every day telling me, you can't do this, or this is going to happen. And it's always the worst case scenario. So I feel that by working with Shimreet and gaining some tools, and the biggest tool for me was the meditation, because I felt with the meditations, and I'm telling you, sometimes at work, I was out of my car doing this 2-3 times a day. But I found that they allowed me to separate myself from the situation that was upsetting me or causing me stress, and just cleared my mind for that moment. And when I came back and went back into it, was like I could just handle whatever situation was there. Even it was annoying, yes, but it was something because I'd already detached from that emotion. And then it was just a thought process of, okay, how am I going to figure this out? So I found that was a really big help for me. One which I still do. I still meditate every morning, every evening, and more if I need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that right in the very beginning, you jumped all in, like you were ready to start. I felt when we got on the phone the first time before you decided to join, that was the first time after those few emails, and you knew a little bit of the processes. And then on the first phone call, I felt like you were already ready to jump in because you were ready to make that leap. You were ready to change. You didn't know how. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I remember our conversation. I remember that, you know, we couldn't hang up. It was on the phone. We couldn't hang up because we were so excited from the very beginning, because there was this feeling of knowing of like, this is it. You're doing this. And whenever I get to talk to someone that, you know, that is going for this, going for themselves, for their own, you know, they're choosing to say yes to themselves. That's just the most exciting and uplifting thing. And I remember this call so very well. And then just when we started, you started implementing the meditations from the very first week, as you said, doing them in the car and in your breaks, and really, you know, using it. And the change was very rapid, right? Like very quickly, you felt so much more calm, so much more centered, so much more like the experience at work and the office. I remember you told me in the beginning, like you couldn't, you woke up dreading the day, like first meeting, team meeting, you just got out of that wanting to end that day before it started. And it all shifted completely on that level, right?
Yeah, no, it absolutely helped. And I feel also there was a lot of like a lot of work that we did um, through meditations that really put me out of my comfort zone. Even the group sessions, which I now cherish so much. I love them. And I remember when I first thought about them, I was completely afraid. I didn't think I'd be comfortable in a group setting. And now I just couldn't imagine not being involved in those. And you know, it's just such a great little community, and
It's like a family.
yes, it is, and you can just be completely vulnerable and share, and there's no judgment, and it feels good. You know, it feels really nice, and just to have the support, and I love it. Like lots of times I end those sessions and I've got tears in my eyes, and I'm just so grateful for everybody. And
We all sometimes have tears in our eyes in those sessions. Yes.
yes, absolutely.
And thank you for sharing that so much. And I think it would be a good question to ask if there was one process or a few, but what was kind of the most poignant things that we did together along the way, that, you know, that really moved the needle, if that's a good term in this context. Yeah, that really made a difference, or kind of, you know, took you over a barrier, or, you know, created a shift.
Well, I found like we did a couple meditations, so the campfire meditation.
Yeah.
I found, but I mean, why I'm saying this is the campfire meditation. I feel I let go of a lot of resentment. I feel that I dealt with trauma that I'd had since so early on.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of resentment towards some people in my life that I really was able to let go. And I was able to establish boundaries between them and myself, but still have some form of relationship. So I found that was really beneficial to me, because these are resentments that I'd had for so long that I just kind of walked around as a victim, right? Like, so for me, that changed a lot because it took a lot of weight off my shoulders, and it allowed me to move forward. And, and then looking at reframing thoughts, that was a very good tool. And the change tool was very good. So I believe a combination. I mean, there's not just one, but right? It's the combination. But I have to say, for me, because I had so much trauma from such an early age, that campfire really allowed that to come out. And then I was able to focus more on me.
Yeah, I think Lucinda was mentioning this process as well. And as I always say, this is really, like, I think this goes throughout all of the people that are going through this program. This is kind of the pivot point, because you get to meet yourself in such a deep level and to find so much forgiveness and release that you can never go back from that point. You can't forget it. It's just, it stays with you. And then all the other tools that are combined come together when you go through this process. And you can't do this in the first session. Like, you can't do this right away, because it is a very deep process. But as deep as it is, it's also very gentle. There's only beauty and healing and release in it. And then when you get to that point and the other tools come together, this combination that you mentioned, and I've been mentioning all week, because it is that combination that allows this transformation to happen in a really short amount of time. Like, unfortunately, people go through years of struggling, and you can really change. Like, you can really do this. It's just a combination of a few tools with some deep healing, deep connection with yourself, and some support, and you can do this. So thank you so much for being here and showing everybody that it is possible. And maybe you can share with us, what in your life now you can, identify or point out and say, this became possible thanks to this transformation that I've gone through. This is a result of this journey that I'm on, and that portion, that leap that I've taken, and the processes that we've done together.
Well, I can say that I now go to work and I'm not dreading the day. And I come home and I don't think about work at all.
Yes.
At all. That is a big change. I no longer think of worst case scenarios. If I do, I mean, sometimes it happens, but the bounce back is so much quicker than it was. But also there's just this awareness, a very strong awareness of myself. And I feel that I've found to love myself and appreciate myself and really like who I am and embrace that. Yeah. And because of that, I've been able to communicate to people I care about, and my communication skills have improved immensely. And that has improved my relationships with my parents, with my friends. That's been a huge thing for me. I was always very guarded and didn't like to express my feelings. So I would say that's another thing.
Thank you, and I really appreciate that you shared that. Sorry?
No, that's okay. We're good.
Okay. But, yes, go on.
No, I was just saying, I think I was dragging on that sentence too long, but I was just saying that, the self-awareness and the self-love and just the communication has really improved. And that's improved the quality of everything in my life, really. Even my relationships with my clients.
Absolutely. I thank you so much for sharing that, because this shows another kind of concept that I was talking about the last few days, about the ripple effect. So we all have a bigger purpose, and we are all connected to other people, whether it is our family or our friends or our community or at work. And when you say yes to yourself, and when you really go all in for your own healing, for your own well-being, then the ripple effect is immense. It's even beyond what you know, because those people that your communication with has improved, the clients, the friends, has another ripple effect beyond that, right? Like then they come home and they're more relaxed and they're more happy because they've met you and you had such good energy, so it affected them, and then they carry it on to other people. So that the ripple effect that we have when we are well, when we are happy, when we shine our light, then it shines so bright and it goes beyond what we even know. And as you share, like the way you function at work, you finish your tasks on the weekly tasks on Monday sometimes, right? I remember one week you sent me the message on Monday, I finished all my weekly goals. And then your clients are happier and your coworkers are happier, and you have better conversations with your parents or your friends, and you have new relationships in your life that maybe wouldn't have been possible before. So the effect and the result is so much bigger than how you feel, how you yourself feel, and then how you feel is the most important thing, and it all comes back. It creates a whole new cycle. So instead of the cycle of guilt or fear or shame or sadness, which is a very difficult cycle to break, but once you break through it, and you can, then a whole other cycle gets in motion and gets momentum. So that's so beautiful to hear and to witness. And actually, I was having some questions, because this is going to be also a Q&A question. So thank you, Angie, for sharing that with us. Angie's a good friend of Staci, so she knows what we're talking about here, because she was also a witness of this transformation. So thanks for being here, Angie, and sharing that as well. And I've been having some questions about dream work. Dream work is something that I haven't incorporated in this workshop, because there's only like I don't want to put too much on you guys. I want you to have the space and time and capacity to implement everything that we're learning this week, which is a lot. But working with dreams is a whole other area or toolkit that we use in the Master Your Path program. And I thought it might be a good time to bring that up, also because questions were coming in, because we were working with dreams, at least two. So I'm not going to ask you about to share your dreams here. Don't worry, unless you want to. But that's not what I'm going. I'm just kind of maybe want to take this opportunity to ask you to share, without getting into the dream detail, but what was that? How was that helpful for you? Because this is many times also a very big factor in this process as well.
Well, I found that it was incredibly helpful, because it made me realize some things that I was not acknowledging to myself, or not being 100% truthful with myself. And once I had accepted that and acknowledged that, I was able to address the situation. And it's incredible. Like, it's just, I find life-changing, to be honest.
The dream work specifically, you mean?
Well, the dream work specifically, because, so say for this dream, it was a very strange dream. It wasn't one a person could really interpret, or that I could really interpret. I didn't really understand why I was having it. But after discussing it and working with it and realizing, what it could have meant, or what the universe was maybe telling me, or not maybe, but was telling me, it really made sense. It really made sense, and it guided me. I was able to make some decisions, and it worked.
Yeah, and I think you're referring to the last dream we worked with. I remember two other dreams that were very, very powerful. One in the very beginning of the process. The setting was your office. I'll just say that to remind you personally.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to look back at that dream and see where you are today, because that was very much in the beginning, and it was kind of showcasing what's to come, right?
Right.
This dream.
And then the second one too, actually, the second one was quite powerful, because I realized some things from, some earlier trauma that really was addressing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a really big weight off your shoulders when you let that stuff go.
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
is.
And also doing this work with dreams in a group setting is so powerful too. There's there's the synchronicities and mirroring that happen within a group when you work with dreams is just mind blowing sometimes.
Right. And even when we did the re-entry, right,
Right.
with other members' dream, I found just to be the observer, that was very interesting too. And it was very interesting to see how, you know, three of us there and we all had different insights. But yet, I mean,
But yet everything was magically
instinct,
connected as if it was just one. Yeah,
right?
I remember that
Right.
session.
That was really neat because that was just a different experience for me, right? And a different.
Yes. Yes, this is the side of the program that I haven't had the opportunity to share and present here to people. So I'm happy for that opportunity. And, you know, maybe there's something, if there's anything you have kind of to say as a message to people who are watching this now with us live or will watch it later, you know, as a replay, you know, and might be considering, because we have, you know, extended the invitation for people to join the Master Your Path program for the past 2 days. So we've been teaching and sharing and going through these beautiful processes, and this is a beautiful, amazing group of people. Everyone sharing and being so vulnerable. It's just amazing and beautiful. People from all around the world. And then in the last 2 days, I've been extending me and my team have been extending the invitation to join the Master Your Path program. Some have joined already. And so now that you're here with us, Staci, I wonder if you have anything to, you know, if there are people here watching and might be considering, you know, might feel like, wow, this is really sounds amazing. I've been having such amazing, you know, experiences throughout this week. If you have anything, you know, to say to someone who is out on the other side of the fence and wondering if this is for them, then what might you have to say about that?
Well, first, I want to say that it is really great that you're all here because it's a really big step and it's not the easiest thing to do. So I want to let you all know I'm very proud of you all.
Thank you.
And I would say if you feel that it's, well, I know that it's going to help. I know that. If you have any reservations, I would say go with your gut, jump in. I jumped in. I didn't think about it too much, and I will never regret any of it. It changed my life. So, and you get such a great little, like Shamrit said, it's a family. We're all here to support each other, and it is so rewarding, and it will change your life. I promise you, it really will.
Thank you so much, Staci. This is so valuable and precious, because, you know, you need to, I've been there as well, you know, and you need that certainty and that conviction that this is really going to work, right? Because it's a big investment and it's a big commitment. And it's also knowing that, okay, if I'm going for this, then I need to show up for myself. Otherwise, there's no point. So the commitment is not only the monetary investment, it's the commitment to really, okay, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to look in. I'm going to change. I'm going to step out of the comfort zone, as you said. Change always takes friction, and it's uncomfortable to change. This is why we don't change all these years, because it is uncomfortable, but it's so rewarding, as you say as well. And so I know for me too, you know, when I'm in that position, that I want to hear from real people that this is real, that this is going to work for me, and, you know, it's so important and so valuable. So I thank you so much for giving that gift, for sharing that here, and for being part of my family. I love you so much, and working with you is just an honor, a delight, and yeah.
Well, I love
Um,
you too. And I also want to add that I have witnessed several transformations of other group members, and like it really does work. And I love you, Shimrit, and I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Staci. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And I'll see you very soon.
All right. Sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Staci. Thank you.